An integral theme of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur is Teshuvah, the concept of returning to Hashem. Within Teshuvah, the Torah tells us that there's two types of Teshuvah. There's Teshuvah me'ahava and Teshuvah me'yira. Teshuvah from love and Teshuvah from fear. Returning to Hashem because of love and returning to Hashem because of fear. And our rabbis teach us from the earliest sources that if somebody does Teshuvah me'yira, if they return to God from fear, their sins get erased. But if they do Teshuvah me'ahava, if they return from love, their sins actually turn into mitzvot. The sins turn into mitzvot. And the question, of course, is, how does a sin turn into a mitzvah? And I think to answer this question, I'll ask another question. Us Jews like to do that. And the question is, Rosh Hashanah is Judgment Day. Why are we so excited? Why are we so happy? Why are we eating and drinking and living it up with festivities on a day that's we're being judged? Imagine you come to court in your Rolls Royce and you come out in your best suit and you're coming to this in this day. How do we understand? Why are we celebrating on Rosh Hashanah? And we don't even do al-chet. We don't say I'm sorry for my sins on Rosh Hashanah. We don't cry on Rosh Hashanah. What's going on? It's Judgment Day. Shouldn't we be remorseful? Shouldn't we be sorry? And I think the answer is going back to the question. We have Teshuvah me'ahava and Teshuvah me'yira. We said Teshuvah me'yira, Teshuvah from fear, the sins get erased. Teshuvah from ava actually brings us the averos, the sins become mitzvahs. And how is this possible? So I think the reason is like this. What is a mitzvah? We know a mitzvah comes from the word tzavta. Many commentaries tell us it comes from the word tzavta. Tzavta is a connector. Every mitzvah is a connector. It connects us to something bigger than ourselves. Every time we do a mitzvah, whether it's bin adam l'makom, bin adam l'chavero, between man and fellow man, or between man and God, the mitzvah connects us to a higher place. It's like somebody rappelling up a mountain. And each time he does a mitzvah or she does a mitzvah, they put a peg into the mountain and climb up a little bit higher. Every mitzvah brings us closer to Hashem and closer to our essence. When a person does teshuvah me'yira, from fear, because they're afraid of punishment, afraid of something bad happening to them, fear of God, awe of God, then the sins get erased. But when a person does teshuvah me'ava, when they return to God because of love, what does that mean? It means that they feel such a closeness with Hashem that they say, Hashem, how could it be that I got so distant from you? And then the distance actually becomes an impetus for the connection. The sins actually become a source of connection. The sins become a tzavta. The sins become a source of connection to Hashem. Because we realize, how could I become so distant from you? And through that feeling, that distance, they actually become closer. We say, b'makom shabat tshuva omed, in the place that where a Baal Tshuva goes, even the greatest tzaddik can't be in that place. Because the Baal Tshuva is able to bypass all those things and come to an even closer place. And I think this is the idea, because the Baal Tshuva went away, and from that distance, realized the closeness that they really want to have. And this can be paralleled in all our human relationships. When we're in a relationship, sometimes we could change our ways because we realize that we don't want to lose this person. We don't want to lose this child. We don't want to lose our spouse. We don't want to lose this relationship. So that's teshuvah me'yira. Teshuvah me'ava is when I say, oh my gosh, I love this person so much. How could it be that I got distant from this person? And then the disconnect actually becomes a source of connection. And I believe this is why Rosh Hashanah, we go in like this. We go in why? Because on Rosh Hashanah is teshuvah me'ava. Rosh Hashanah, we are connecting to Hashem. We're not focusing on the past. It's like a couple that's renewing their vows. And we're not going to focus on the mistakes that we made. We're going to focus on the connection. We're here to celebrate, to uplift the world, to daven and to pray and to connect and to be there with Hashem. And in that space, we don't need to talk about the sins. We don't need to talk about the mistakes, because the mistakes are not even important right now. We're focused on our relationship with Hashem and the connection that we want to have. And the ultimate judgment that we hope to get is the judgment that we give a loved one. We want Hashem to judge us the way He would judge a loved one, because we're there with Him, we're connected. But then, if a person did not get to the highest level in Rosh Hashanah, we have the rest of Aseret Yimei Tshuva, of the leads up to Yom Kippur, and I would think that that's more like Teshuvah Me'ira. That's Teshuvah from fear, where we focused on the mistakes, and we try to erase the mistakes, and we try to work out the mistakes. But on Rosh Hashanah, we are Teshuvah Me'ava, connecting to Hashem from love, from that connection, of that place of connection. May we all have a meaningful Rosh Hashanah, a Rosh Hashanah of true connection and purpose, and Be'ezrat Hashem, we will be able to connect with Teshuvah Me'ava.